we're looking for what solutions work best for the client and for their needs. And we want to make sure that they don't jump out of the U.S. tax pot and into somebody else's tax fire.
So you guys help people with tax leaving and entering the United States. And when you say expatriation, you mean, hey, okay, I'm giving up citizenship in the United States. We're going to, Canada or half Puerto Rico, as we kind of talked about earlier, or Italy or whatever, right? Another country that fits their lifestyle. It fits their, breakfast table style, is like David mentioned a little bit earlier. And so what you guys are proposing is, hey, there's a time to get out. And if you want to get out, right, there are certain laws that are advantageous to that. And so if you guys are interested in if you're at this threshold, right, this is the type of strategy you really should look at before it goes south.
Correct. And with one caveat that unlike virtually every other industrialized country in the world, the United States is exceptional. It's exceptional because it taxes not only the basis of residency, as does every other major industrialized country, but it also taxes on the basis of citizenship. So if I have my U.S. passport and I'm living in Switzerland, the EU, or the Far East, I am subject to U.S. income tax. I'm subject to U.S. estate tax, even though I don't live in the U.S. That's exceptional.
Wow. And Pierce, one of the things I wanted to point out is, so we're doing a lot of planning in 2023 and 2024. And so, when people wake up in November, and they say, okay, this is what the outcome of the election is, I think that there's a greater chance that the political winds are going to blow the tax the rich wildfire our way. They've got everything in place to trigger it. But this takes time. I mean, I have clients who say, well, I have an Irish grandmother. And I said, well, yes, you are entitled to an Irish citizenship, but it's not like you dial 1-800-I-AM-IRISH and a leprechaun delivers the passport to you. There's a process that you have in your application. Let's assume we get all the documentation together and we submit that and it goes on a desk in Dublin. Well, your file is sitting behind everybody in the UK who, as a result of Brexit, also had an Irish grandmother or father. And so will that happen in time for you to trigger it? And so starting early to get some of these things in place, and people say, well, I'll buy citizenship in a Caribbean island. Well, that still takes 6 to 8 months. So while Mel is designing the fire escape plan, we're selecting what's the right fire insurance to get. And one of the things that is also different about Mel and I is that we're fee-based advisors. I don't, when we look at different jurisdictions, I don't take commissions from anybody. If there's a commission that's paid, I actually flow that back through. Likewise, Mel is not taking commissions. He's being paid to act in the client's best interest as I am. So we're completely agnostic. We're looking for what solutions work best for the client and for their needs. And we want to make sure that they don't jump out of the U.S. tax pot and into somebody else's tax fire. So lifestyle, is it livable? And also, can you maintain or improve your lifestyle in a more tax efficient manner?
And so, one of the let me just add that a very important consideration from a tax point of view in planning early is that when you file a Form 8854 expatriation statement with the IRS, when you give up, for the year you give up your U.S. passport or the year you abandon long-term residency, you submit an I-407 to the CIS, you need to certify that you are fully U.S. tax compliant for the 5 years before you expatriated. And so I will tell you that in the majority of these situations, we need to go back and amend. And there are a couple of programs that I'm heavily involved with, streamlined submissions to the IRS that are IRS sanctioned remediation programs, so that when the day comes that you have to sign an 8854 and certify in writing that you're fully U.S. tax compliant for the 5 preceding years, it's already been looked at. You can do that. It's easy because you've already gone through this testing that I go through with typically U.S. accountants.